Presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on your news leader, in Decision 2022 news, many take advantage of the early voting for the primary election. Plus, the Guam Medical Association holds their gubernatorial debate this evening at the Hilton. And the waters claimed the life of a 43-year-old swimmer Wednesday afternoon off Ortidian Beach, marking the third drowning this month. These stories and more right now on KUAM News Primetime. Hafa day and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Primetime. I'm Tomas Manglona. We're so glad you can join us. Topping our newscast this evening, right before news time, a virtual press conference was held regarding the Dededo Shell officer-involved shooting that occurred on the night of March 9. An indictment was just issued by the Office of the Attorney General charging Guam police officer Justin A.L. Kenga of manslaughter and negligent homicide into the death of Iope Rudolph back in March. As KUAM News reported, on the evening of March 9, police responded to a report of Rudolph using a slingshot to shoot at passerby. He allegedly failed to comply with police and was shot outside the Sengsong Shell service station. During a press conference held by the OAG, it was disclosed that after reviewing all the evidence, the determination was made that the officer's actions were not clearly justified. At this time, Kenga has not been arrested and the investigation is ongoing. And at the bottom of the hour, the Guam Medical Association will be holding their gubernatorial debate. Joining us live from the Hilton Resort and Spa in Tumon is our Nestor Lecanto. Nestor, what's the latest?
Thanks, Tomas. Yes, we're here at the Hilton where they're getting ready to produce the debate between gubernatorial candidates, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero and Congressman Michael San Nicolas. This is sponsored by the Guam Medical Association, and all of the questions are going to be coming from GMA members. Some of the topics we expect to hear about, of course, the pandemic will probably top the list and how it was handled. There will also be, of course, the new GMH. Possibly the medical malpractice insurance that the doctors came out strongly against, even telemedicine abortion, which is a very hot topic right now, both here and in the U.S. mainland. So we're on standby. Tune into KUAM tomorrow. We'll have a full wrap-up on KUAM News, on the hotspot, and of course on our social media platforms. I'm Nestor Lecanto at the Hilton. Back to you in the studio, Tomas.
Right, thank you so much, Nestor, for that report. Remember, KUAM right here will be streaming the GMA gubernatorial debate at 6:30 p.m. That's going to be on our Facebook page. And earlier today, Nestor was also at the Westin Resort, where the Guam Election Commission was conducting the first day of early voting for election 2022. With less than a month left before primary, we spoke with a few of those voters who've already cast their ballots.
So far, so good for the early voting process. Election Commission Executive Director Maria Pangilinan says there were a few voters already waiting when they opened for the first day at 10 a.m. sharp.
We're wanting to make sure we clear out all the kinks from the first day, and so we have, and we will watch it and see where else we can improve.
Early voter Ron Azuzu said it went very smooth for him as there were plenty of personnel on hand to guide him.
When you drive down to the parking area, they do have a shuttle will bring you up to the top to show you where to vote, and they do have employees with the side of the entrance and coming in to tell you that this is where you go and sign in, sign your papers.
Another early voter, Patty Hernandez, encourages more people to come out.
It's so convenient to come down to Westin. Everything is, they guide you to the process and all. Kudos to Guam Election Commission.
Last election, more than 13,000 people cast pre-election day ballots, with 12,000 doing so in person. While there are no special requirements to vote early, some people, like Edith Azuzu, have reason to. Why did you vote early?
Because I'm leaving the island tomorrow.
But you're coming back, right?
Of course.
GEC Director Pangilinan says voter registration is still possible until August 17, and starting August 5th, you'll be able to register at your village mayor's office. The The GEC is also ready to accommodate any homebound voters.
Call us at 477-9791, or you can email us as well. Call us with some information about how to contact the homebound voter, and we will take their name and contact information down. We will pre-fill out an application at the office, and we will send our homebound representatives out to visit and make them vote starting August 1st.
Early voting for the primary ends August 19 and will resume ahead of the general election. For KUAM News, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
And the Federated States of Micronesia reported its first COVID-19 case in the community this month, just as their borders are fully reopening on August 1st. In an exclusive interview with KUAM, FSM President David Panuelo says they're prepared to respond to the pandemic. Here's more.
I am sorry that I am not in our country at this time of crisis. I acknowledge that we are now indeed experiencing a crisis in our country.
An apologetic president praying for peace, returning from a trip to Fiji for the Pacific Islands Forum. His country now fighting to contain COVID in the community for the first time ever.
Many of you are becoming sick or are watching your family become sick, and lives and livelihoods are being impacted. You are hungry for information and starving for solutions. My duty is to provide these for you.
The president in our KUAM studio on Guam filming a PSA amid the COVID surge. He says the first community case was found on July 19, but how a positive case appeared when the FSM's borders were sealed shut since January 2020 is not known. They reported nearly 700 cases in the last day alone. But there aren't any plans to delay the reopening of those borders.
Will the FSM open its borders on August 1st, 2022? Yes. The FSM will fully open its borders on August 1st, 2022.
The president is expected to make his way home on that day.
Anyone who wishes to travel to the FSM will need to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19, including booster doses if eligible, and must have physical possession of a negative COVID-19 test result conducted via a PCR test within 72 hours of their departure from Hawaii or Guam to the FSM.
He says the FSM has enough vaccines for everyone, just as they report that 75% of those 5 years and older are fully vaccinated and more than half of those older than 45 are boosted. The COVID-19 treatment Paxlovid and monoclonal antibodies for more than 21,000 people are available. The president says CDC teams from the U.S. will aid communities in Pohnpei and Koshrai, and the same help will be sent to Chuuk and Yap if cases are confirmed there.
These are dark days, but we will endure beyond them. The sun will rise tomorrow, and we will adapt to and overcome COVID-19.
The president is expected to issue a decree on July 30th requiring mask wearing in public places and for those who are sick to get tested and to stay home. He's also urging the public to stay home except for essential business. And we will have more from our interview with FSM President David Panuelo in the coming days. And turning to some news here on Guam, at around 3:10 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, rescue units with the Guam Fire Department responded to a report of a distressed swimmer at Ratidin Beach. According to GFD spokesperson Nick Garrido, at 3:56 p.m., the swimmer, a 43-year-old male, was recovered. CPR was conducted en route and he was transported to Naval Hospital Guam, where he was later pronounced deceased by attending physicians. This marks the third drowning this month in Guam. And vaccine records now go digital, and it went into effect on Monday. Daniel Perez has the report.
It's an easier way to carry around your vaccine record without having it on you all the time. Public Health recently released a digital COVID-19 vaccination record, and it utilizes the Smart Health Card. The Smart Health Card is a paper or digital record of your vaccination history that comes with a QR code that can be scanned and securely saved on a smartphone or tablet. It can also be printed out. COVID-19 Vaccination Records Chief Annette Uggan.
There are some foreign countries that are not accepting the paper printout, and this is a project that we actually wanted to launch since the beginning of this year. Unfortunately, due to technical issues, we had to delay it. So we're happy to report out that finally we have this option of a QR code.
This does not replace the paper version of the vaccination card. It is just a secondary source to show proof of your vaccination history. Only those who receive vaccines from public health or another enrolled COVID-19 provider can avail the QR code.
They can request it through us or through the participating COVID providers who vaccinated them.
Residents must have also completed their primary series of the vaccine, be it the 2 doses of the mRNA vaccine or the 1 dose of the Janssen vaccine, for a QR code to be processed. If residents get a booster or a new dose of the vaccine, they will need to request for a new QR code. For the full list of COVID-19 providers participating in the QR code release, go to KUAM.com or call Public Health's immunization program at 671-735-7143. Daniel Perez reporting for KUAM News.
Still to come on Your News Leader, we have national headlines, and later we tell you about a Guam son who is nominated for an Emmy. These stories and more coming up next on Your News Leader. It's KUAM News Time.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
I have a phone. I have no TV. Ooh, TV on phone. Get live TV on your phone or any device with DTV Plus from Docomo Pacific. Watch live channels or stream from your favorite apps on any device, all from your home Wi-Fi. No cable lines, no hassle, more savings. All for only $35 a month with your Link Bundle. DTV Plus, your cable TV on Wi-Fi. Ooh, TV on phone.
Half a day. I'm Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I'm proud to report that we have opened a new relief center to help you as we continue to recover from the pandemic.
From healthcare to welfare, childcare, housing, and utilities, we have a wide variety of direct relief programs available to help you.
This central location provides direct access to most of our public assistance programs under one roof. Our friendly staff are ready to help you through the application process.
We are working to ensure you get the assistance you need to receive the relief available to you and your family.
This means more support to help you meet the cost of living and give you more money in your pocket.
We are improving how government is working. Our administration continues to invest in Guam's future, delivering relief and driving our recovery.
Visit the Government of Guam Relief Center at the 3rd floor of the Bank of Hawaii building in Hagåtña, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or call us at 671-475-2060.
Santa Fe family. Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam on Demand.
The 21-year-old suspect accused of opening fire on a 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois, was indicted today on 117 felony counts, including first-degree murder. 7 people were killed and more than 30 wounded in the attack. The indictment came as lawmakers here in Washington called out gun companies for making more than $1 billion in revenue, partly by marketing military-grade weapons to young men. More now from CBS' Nicole Killian.
There are so many things Javier Caceres misses about his 9-year-old daughter Jacqueline, gunned down 2 months ago at Robb Elementary.
Her smile, everything.
He traveled to Capitol Hill from Uvalde with families from other mass shootings, demanding accountability.
How many more American children need to die?
I believe that these murders are local problems.
I don't consider the modern sporting rifles today that my company produces to be weapons of war.
The CEOs of Daniel Defense and Sturm Ruger appeared before the House Oversight Panel, which found both companies pulled in over $500 million in sales of AR-15-style rifles that were used in Uvalde and Sutherland Springs, Texas. Smith & Wesson, whose weapons were used in shootings in Highland Park, Parkland, and San Bernardino, earned more than $695 million. The committee also found the manufacturers used manipulative marketing practices targeting young men with ads about masculinity and mimicking first-person shooter video games. Some Republicans on the panel defended the industry.
We're going to blame the manufacturers of forks and spoons for obesity. I guess you're going to subpoena some of them as well.
What's upsetting to Javier Cáceres is not getting more answers.
The slap to our faces. You know, not just ours. I mean, every victim that's ever been shot or killed.
The committee announced it intends to subpoena Smith & Wesson after an executive was invited to testify but didn't show. The company has not responded to our request for comment. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
In regional news, over in Tinian, 3 heavy equipment vehicles owned by the Department of Defense were vandalized over the weekend. The Department of Public Safety was notified by the DoD of the incident. According to the Tinian Mayor's office, all 3 heavy equipment tires had multiple holes, causing them to deflate. They noted that the U.S. Seabees used them to complete the road paving project at Marple Heights 2 in Tinian. The mayor's office asked that anyone with information about the vandalism should contact them at the CDMI Department of Public Safety. That's 670-433-9222. They added that intentional damages made to government and non-government property will not be tolerated. The Defense Department is pouring in another $98.5 million to existing military buildup construction contracts, which will push the costs over the $1 billion mark. Naval Facilities Engineering Systems Command Pacific announced the modifications today to current multiple award construction contracts. The previous total combined amount of $990 million will now increase to $1,088.5 million. NAVFAC says the scope of work includes construction and renovation of barracks, dorms, administrative communication, and educational facilities, as well as ranges, roads, bridges, and other base infrastructure. Project completion is expected by September 2024. 2 of the 5 contractors who will share the additional funding are Guam-based Black Construction, Tudor Perini JV of Harmon, and Cortec Kajima LLC of Tumuning. And a son of Guam making big waves, Teddy Salas chats with our Jonah Uggan Charfris about how he landed his current job at Sony Pictures Sound and how he feels about being nominated for an Emmy.
39-year-old Teddy Salas is still getting used to having Emmy nominated before his name. Salas, who was born and raised on Guam, is a Southern boy having roots in Hoggett and Santa Rita, who just nabbed an Emmy nod in the category of Outstanding Sound Mixing for a comedy or drama series for the Barry episode entitled All the Sauces. He recalls the day he got word of the great news.
I get a phone call from my mix partner, Elmo Pons Dominic, and I knew immediately, like, he's calling for a reason. Like, there's, you know, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning and we're both off. He called to congratulate me because he's been nominated. He's actually won a couple of Emmys before for Barry as well. And so, you know, he was congratulating me and I just was, you know, you're speechless, right? I didn't think this was something I didn't think that's a phone call I'd be receiving in my lifetime, you know.
First thing he did, he walked right into the bedroom to tell his wife, Miranda.
Then I immediately called my mom and told her all about it. So, and then and after that, it was just bombarding of text messages from colleagues here at Sony and just in the sound industry itself, and emails started flying around, and yeah, it was a pretty wild day.
Salas, who graduated from Southern High School, left a year after graduation to further his education stateside, while also wanting to learn more about the science of music.
Somewhere in the middle of going to school, I was introduced to, you know, the art of post-production sound, which is, you know, sound for film and TV, and I always had some sort of interest in that, but I just never realized how deep it went.
In order to graduate, he had to do an internship at a studio and complete 240 hours.
I chose a post-production studio where I did my internship, and then it kind of all fell into place from there. Started really falling in love with the craft.
Salas is currently at Sony Pictures Sound, where he's been for the past 4 years, and he says it's been a wild ride and a whole lot of fun. One of the things he really encourages is the power of connecting and networking.
Networking is like probably the one thing that I stress the most for anyone trying to get into the industry or even the arts in general.
His advice to those who are pursuing their dreams?
There's a fear of the unknown, right? It's not necessarily a class we teach in our schools on Guam. So you're kind of venturing into some uncharted territory, and sometimes you just got to step in there and dip the toe in the water and see what happens, because I think that's basically how I did it. I was just like, all right, let's go see where this goes and how bad it can get and how good it can get.
Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jonah Gancharfres.
Their motto is "We Serve," and on Wednesday afternoon, the Guam Tanota Lions Club unveiled their mobile health clinic, which will help provide medical services and diabetes education around the island. According to Charter President Dr. John Titano, who also serves as the director for the mobile clinic, the Lions Club in Chicago donated a grant valued at $150,000 to go towards the purchase of the vehicle. The overall cost is about $182,000, with local members raising $70,000. The vehicle arrived on island in January with the assistance of Matson Navigation.
We've been trying to get it operational, but we had to go ahead and get it registered, and then we're meeting with the different stakeholders in the community, the Guam Diabetes Association, the Mayor's Council, the SDA Clinic, the Guam Medical Society, and these individuals are providing providers to come out and provide free services to our community. We don't want anybody to pay for any of these things. We certainly would encourage only those that don't have insurance, aren't able to pay, to come and make use of the services, but we're not going to turn away anybody.
The major donors who made the mobile clinic possible to include Stay Well Foundation, Matson Navigation, Copy Express, Daniel Yang, Danny and Claire Cruz, Guam Lions Club, as well as Tachino and his wife Sarah. And stay tuned. Up next, Dave Delgado with your roundup of local sports.
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich. You'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Lunches. Snacks. We got diapers for baby girl. Oh, 7:15, we gotta go. Bread, milk, gas for work. Remember to grab Joe Boy a birthday present. Half a day.
Hey, Molly, how much do you pay for daycare for the kids?
Over $600 a month. It's expensive.
Did you hear about the governor's program that covers up to $675 a month for childcare?
Wow, that would be a lifesaver with the rising cost of everything.
Check guamchildcare.com to apply. We qualified. I even booked an appointment for someone to walk me through the process.
guamchildcare.com. Okay, thanks. I'll apply today.
This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
Attention all middle and high school students, this summer, JA Guam is inviting you to the JA Inspire Virtual Career Exploration Fair. You can register at ja-guam.org and learn about the different industries to consider for your future careers. On July the 12th, we'll be at the GCC Multipurpose Room to conduct JA Economics for Success. And then on September 10th, we launch the 2023 JA Company Program. Again, that's ja-guam.org, so register today. This is sponsored by the Bank of Hawaii, SBDC, Title Guarantee, Graphic Center, Matson, GPO, Deloitte, GTA, and KUAM.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Team Elite were crowned champions in the U16 division of the KFC Youth Summer League after defeating the Sharks 52-42 in the title game. In soccer news, the Bank of Guam Strikers remain as the lone undefeated team in the Bud Light Women's Soccer League Premier Division following a 1-0 win over the Quality Distributors in Week 2 play at the Guam Football Association National